Okay, so now you can see the link. Yeah, the link is in the chat. And I'm going to start sharing the link right now. Okay, everybody, welcome to our YouTube Live. Today, we're going to have some of the presentations from our Upper D students. Thank you very much for all the people that are already joining our session. And so we're going to get started right now with our first presentation. Our first presenter is going to be telling us about a very familiar topic that we have here in Colombia. Some of you might be hating this topic nowadays because of what happened to La Selección and to Colombia, the team. But I know that some of you have the passion for soccer. And so for talking a little bit about this, Juan Camilo Cardona is going to be sharing his screen and sharing this wonderful presentation. So once again, welcome everybody, and the floor is yours, Juan Camilo. Go for it. Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, hello, how are you doing? Hey, the teacher, my name is Juan Camilo Cardona Castaño, and I am going to speak about the soccer. Yes, why I choose this topic? First, because I like a lot. I want to share you one image when I was a child, my first thing. Yes, my first thing when I play. I am here. Yes, and second one, because I think that is becoming in a business. More than business, the people are paying for playing. Yes, are paying for playing, and this is corruption. That is an issue nowadays. I think that we can change this corruption, starting with the sports, especially with the soccer. Yes, many people that are paid, yes, playing all examples, all the soccer match, and you that you training a lot, you training all the days, you don't play the soccer match, and this is so good, so bad. I'm sorry. Okay, in the soccer, you can stay, of course, and you can become like a soccer player. You can see in this part, like a physiotherapist, like a DT, and a soccer player recruiter. Who is the soccer player recruiter? Is the person who finds the talents. Yes. Okay. While you play soccer, you can study. Many of the teams give you the opportunity to study in a university, the career that you want. While you play, obviously, you need to play very good, and in the university is obviously that you need to study very concentrated. Okay, and I want to give you a very clear example. That is the Manizales University. There are students, obviously, that they study in the Manizales University. They have a team in the professional league, professional tournament of soccer. And the university the paid the semester payment for these players. A sponsor, the university sponsor this with the 100% of the semester payment. Okay, another thing that I want to share with you is that in the world there are many poverty. Yes, there are people with many poor. You can see this image, but the soccer obviously can be all the sports, give you the opportunity to earn money to help you to go out to the poverty. Yes. And think that we need to contribute to all the world. If we know a talent, but he or she doesn't have money to pay, or yes, to pay to a soccer team for training, it's good that you help them. And another clear example is he. He is Alfonso Davies. Nowadays, he is 19 years old. He is playing for the Bayern Munich in Germany. And in the past, he was very poor. Yes, he was born in Africa, in Ghana. I'm sorry, in Ghana. And he was very poor, yes, but a soccer player recruiter see that Davis has a talent, has many talent, and nowadays he's one of the best soccer players that there are in the world. Okay. There are many opportunities that the soccer give you to earn money. Many people think that it's only for it, for go to play, and no. The soccer players needs to represent many brands. Obviously, for the brands, it's good for sale, yes, for show their company, their brands, and the players is good for the people know them. I want to share with you a sponsor, what is Pepsi, that is sponsoring a lot of players. Give me a moment. Oh, you can see the video? Yes? Okay. Okay, we can see that there is the name of the campaign, Love It, Live It. That is like a conclusion that we need to unite, yes, for be one. We need to change the corruption. And this start with the soccer. We start changing all the corruption with the soccer. And yes, it's all. Thank you for paying attention. If you have questions, I want to answer.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation over there about soccer. Yeah, definitely corruption. Well, let's not talk about corruption tonight. Let's talk about something that is important for us, okay? Something that is very important in our lives. And well, that I didn't really know. Some of the information that the next presenter is going to provide in a minute. It's going to be pretty interesting for everybody. I didn't really know the categories. I didn't really know much about type of natural disasters and all that stuff. But Angela is going to be right now presenting and telling us a little bit more about that. So I invite her to take the word, take the lead, and go for it. Yes, Angela.
Hello,
the room is
teacher.
yours.
Thank you. Can you see it, teacher?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Angela, and today I'm going to talk about natural disaster. I decided to choose this topic because I like it, and because for me, natural disaster is one of the most important issues for all the world. Natural disaster is a catastrophic event that we can handle and occur for the conditions that don't depend for the human beings. But some of these events occur because we don't take care of our environment. Although many people are campaigning to take care of our environment, but many people are destroying our resources with deforestation, unregulated construction, illegal fishing, pollution, hunting, and ambition of some companies. Through the years, every part of the world have a natural disaster. And this disaster affects millions of families, companies, cities, and even entire countries. Besides that, the severity. In this part, I have the definition. Natural disaster is a catastrophic event caused by nature or natural process on Earth. Nature, like a landslides or hurricanes, or process on Earth, like a volcano eruption or earthquakes. Besides that, the severity of natural disaster is measured of loss of life. For that reason, in this moment, this pandemic, COVID-19, is considered for many people like a natural disaster. The reason is because in this moment we have around the world more than 1.45 million of deaths. And in Colombia, we have more than 168 deaths. In this part of my presentation, I have some of types of natural disasters. The first one is a tornado. It is a column of air with high angular velocity whose lower end is in contact with Earth's surface. They are measured in categories between F1 until F5 on the Fourier scale. The category F5 is the most dangerous. In Colombia, tornado is not common. We don't have tornado here. Okay, the second one is wildfire. It is an unplanned, unwanted, uncontrolled fire in area of combustible vegetation and starting in rural or urban areas. In Colombia, we have wildfire, and the cause is because the cause is for weather sometimes, or sometimes it is for the irresponsibility of the people. Then I have tsunami. Tsunami is a giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruption under the sea. This picture is for the tsunami of Japan on 2011, and this happened after an earthquake in Japan. Then I have landslides. They are movements of a mass of rock, debris, or air down a slope. The landslides are very common in Colombia, and they occur because of the rain. In this moment, we have a big one in an important road on the country. This is the landslide of La Línea. In this moment, La Línea is closed for this. Then I have floods. Floods are overflow of water that submerges land that is usually dry. In Colombia are very common too, and it's because of the rain, and sometimes it's because we have bad constructions. Okay, I have these earthquakes. Earthquakes are the violent shaking of the ground produced by the movement of a tectonic plates. They are measured like tornadoes and hurricanes in categories between 1 until 9 on Richter scale. Number 9 is the worst, is the most dangerous. In Colombia, earthquakes are very common. And in this slide, I have two pictures of Armenia's earthquake. This happened 21 years ago, and in this earthquake we had more than 1,125 deaths. Then I have hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone, a violent storm with rain and strong circular winds of at least 119 kilometers per hour. They are measured in categories between 1 until 5, like tornadoes on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Category 5 is the most dangerous. Hurricane season begins in June 1st until November 30. Hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone is the same thing. The name depends of the storm begins. I have this. Hurricane is from Caribbean Sea. Typhoon is from Indian Ocean and Sea of Japan. And cyclones, Southeast Indian Ocean or Southwest Pacific, but it's the same thing. In Colombia, hurricanes are not common, but recently we had one. Hurricane Iora. It was a category 5, and this hurricane destroyed a large part of San Andres and Providencia. And here I have some pictures of this hurricane. Okay, and this I have volcano eruption. It happens when lava and gas are discharged from a volcanic vent. In Colombia, it's not very common, but we happen. In the past we had one, and it's because in Colombia we have some volcanoes like Cerro Machín, Cerro Bravo, Galeras, and El Ruiz. In 1985, El Ruiz erupted and caused one of the biggest tragedy in Colombia, Armeros tragedy. In this tragedy, we had more than 25,000 deaths. Okay, for me, in this moment, in conclusion, in this moment, most of the people don't know about natural disaster, don't know about how to react, how to avoid it, but I think that we should know about that. It's important for all of us, and how to be prepared to when they happen. And the most important thing for me with this topic is that we have to take care of our environment. If we do that, we are taking care of ourselves and our family. Teacher, that's it. I don't know if you want to make a question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that all the information was clear. I just want to check if there's a question maybe in the chat. No, I think everything is clear. So remember, for everybody, for all the ones that are watching us on YouTube or for the ones that are here in class right now, that you can make your questions and then we can answer them at the end of each presentation. I appreciate your presentation. Thank you very much. Very informative. Definitely very important for all of us to get to know a little bit more about natural disasters. And well, maybe we can try to avoid tragedies that we can actually,
yes,
get to know in advance.
And to be prepared.
Sure, for sure.
Thank you, teacher.
To you, thank you very much for your presentation. Well, guys, let's continue. Now, like before, after we were talking about storms and all of those natural disasters, we're going to be talking about a little something that is more, well, I would say calmer, since it's an interesting, I would call it approach or philosophy. But well, I'm not gonna give any more details. I'm going to let Mauricio have his presentation, and well, let's hope we can all learn a little bit more about the Stoics and Stoicism. So, Mauro, you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, teacher. Thanks for your introduction. Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Okay. So as the teacher said, I'm gonna talk to you about Stoicism. My name is Mauricio Castillo. Stoicism is a very ancient philosophy from Greece, and it is about maximizing positive emotions and reduce negative emotions, mostly by know yourself, know the kind of things that make you get angry, be sad, be happy. In this presentation, I'm gonna share with you some of the principles of Stoicism through some quotes from some of the most important Stoics in history. So the first principle, it's about control. This principle say you have to try to identify and separate the things which you are in control and the things you don't have control on it. What kind of things you control? You can control your thoughts, your reactions, your actions, and you can control, for example, very important in our times, what people say or think about you. So this principle invite you to focus on the things you can control and not to care about things you can't. Yeah, you through this you can be calmer and focus on the things that you really can change. The second principle I'm gonna share, it's maybe my favorite, and it says, no person has the power to have everything they want. For sure, you have heard many currents, self-growth currents, which say things like, you are poor like you want. This is for sure very unfair. It's not easy to fulfill the success standards we have in today's society. These principles, this principle invite us to think, fail, it's okay. Fail is okay. It's normal in life. Frustration is normal in life. Not to achieve the goals it's a very normal thing, and you have to try to learn about this. It's not about give up. It's about understand. Fail, it's okay. It's a normal thing. And in the last part of the quote, very important. Be grateful for the things you have and take advantage of them. The last principle I'm going to share with you is external things are not the problem. It's your assessment of them. This is about the way we react about the things, the external things, like maybe the things the people think or say about you. And the Stoics have a kind of maybe a trick for that. And they say, if the comment is true, okay, maybe take it as advice. And if the comment is not true, don't do nothing. It's not true. Yeah, don't. So this is about not to take not to be very care not take very care about the things, the external things, the things you can control. You know, the most of the times the problem is in your head, the way you see the situation or the comment. So I have some conclusions for you in this slide, but they are related to the principles I had talked previously, and I want to to finish the presentation. Sharing with you, I'm not an expert in this topic for sure. I'm just a beginner, and I came to this topic because in some point of my life I was maybe sad, maybe bored with my life, and I don't know why, because I for sure have all the things a person could maybe desire in his life: a good job, a beautiful family, health. And I started to to read about Stoicism, and it had helped me for sure a lot. So thank you very much, and I don't know if you have any question about it.
All right, Mauricio, thank you so much for sharing with us about this very interesting topic. Actually, it was the first time that I knew a little bit about this philosophy of life. I would call it that way. Would it be okay if I call it a philosophy of life?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Sure.
Wait, they want you see it.
Great. That's great. That's great. Well, I think that a good summary for some of the points that you made in the presentation will be the word appreciation. So definitely we need to appreciate what we have, and try to look at life from a different perspective. Probably that's something, or that's the invitation to this, that this philosophy is telling us.
Yes, teacher, that's right. Thank you very much.
To you, thank you very much for sharing this amazing presentation. Well, now coming up next, we have some more presentations. We're just in the middle of the presentations right now. So our next presenter is going to be telling us about something that we all know. Well, at least we all know a little bit about that. I don't consider myself an expert when it comes to using technology and the internet and all the things that come along with this topic. But well, Sarah, my dear Sarah, is going to be actually sharing some information about the Internet of Things. So pretty interesting topic, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So Sarah, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, teacher. So, okay, let me, okay. Internet of Things. First, hello, my name is Sara Montoya. I'm a student at the Colombo, and today I'm going to talk about the Internet of Things. Every day we talk more and more about the Internet of Things, but do we know what it is about? Basically, the Internet of Things is a network that allows you to connect and exchange data between devices via the Internet. So, how does it work? Using a specialized hardware that allows objects to connect to the Internet and expand the functions that are capable of performing. How was it invented? Okay, in general, the Internet emerged in 1926, when Nikola Tesla, with his patents and theoretical works, formed the basis of wireless and radio communications. In 1968, the first message was sent through ARPANET, the operational network of the Department of Defense in the United States, the origin of the global Internet. Years later, TCP/IP The network protocols on which the internet is based and which allows the transmission of data between computers were tested. The TCP is www period and then. In 1982, the first Coca-Cola machine connected to the network appeared, which made it possible to determine the state, number, and temperature of the drinks. In 1990, Bert Nestle established the first communication between a client and a server using the HTTP protocol, and it is from this moment that the internet revolution began. This same year, John Brunke's first connected toaster appeared, which is considered the first Internet of Things device. Also, in 1993, X-Coffee online connected camera was born, a project of students from the University of Cambridge, which made it possible to monitor the amount of coffee in a machine. The term was finally established in 1999 by Kevin Ashton, a researcher at MIT. Those are the examples of the first Coca-Cola machine and the X-Coffee. Okay. So, what is the purpose of the Internet of Things? The Internet of Things aims to enhance objects that years ago were connected by a closed circuit, so that now they do it globally by using the networks to interact with each other. At the same time, it aims to create a world of interaction that is increasingly countable and efficient. Those are some examples to Internet of Things. The first is Voice. The Voice, it is a band to monitor the physical health and well-being of your dog. This monitor allows you to know what is the temperature of your pet, if your pet increases sleep more than yesterday, and something like. The second example is TravelMate. The TravelMate is a suitcase that follows you everywhere by means of your voice or a control. Imagine that you are in the airport and you only need to talk to your suitcase and it will come. Amazing. The third example is Dacor Discovery IQ. This one, it is a smart stuff that can be controlled via smartphone or tablet. Recognizes many recipes and does the job itself. When the dish is ready, it sends a message to the user. Okay. Sorry. All of that has a connection to the internet or Bluetooth. Those are some examples to understand the advantage and evolution of Internet of Things. I want to show you another project which is named Dream Talk Recorder. Okay, who has not been curious about what we dream? Although most of us dream for 2-6 times at night, we forget 90% of our dreams 10 minutes after they are over. No matter what dreams are, humans are fascinated by this world our brain creates. Many people keep dream journals, use them as a guide, or try to control them through lucid dreaming. Thanks to technological advance, many people are captivated by the idea that one day we will be able to record them. This device is planned for the coming years, as it may be closer than we imagine. There are two options. One option is recording dreams could be a pajama, I don't know, with integrated muscle sensors and a hat to record movements and speech in dreams. The cap will record images using technologies derived from magnetic resonance imaging or near infrared spectroscopy. All data will be processed and transmitted as a movie of your dream to your computer or digital video player. The second option, and even the closest, is a headset that captures signals that the brain transmits and takes to a wearable, generates and reproduce audiovisual characters. In addition, to be able to dream, you need to be in an state called REM, which is mean rapid eye movement. The headset, apart from capturing the signals produced, will help the person reach this state through songs, sounds, and relaxing melodies. Okay. In conclusion, the world is connecting through the Internet of Things, making the world a better, more comfortable, and safer place. Besides, we can see how technology brings us closer to what we dream. With the examples already seen, it is clear that it is a fact. The Internet of Things promise to open the door to a revolutionary world, a totally interconnected, intelligent world in which the relationships between objects and their environment and people will be further intertwined. And this is the new trend. And thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for sharing, actually. Very interesting topic as well. I don't know if I want my dreams to be recorded. Would you guys like to have your dreams recorded by any chance?
Oh, no.
No, really? Why not? That would be great. That would be great. I mean, certain dreams, not all of them, for sure. But well, anyways, thank you so much. Pretty interesting topic, and it was actually a very informative one as well. I didn't really know much about, like we use the internet every single day, but we usually don't see everything that is in the back of it and all the different advancements that we are having every single day. All right, that's great. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Well, right now, this is going to be a very interesting presentation, the one that is coming up next. The person in charge of it is my dear Valeria. So she's going to be telling us a little bit about the life, yes, and how life is inside prison, okay? So I'm very curious to get to know a little bit more about this topic, and let's see. Yes, I'm actually pretty curious right now. So Valeria, thank you very much, and let's hope that everybody enjoys this presentation.
Thank you, teacher. Good night, everyone. Give me a second. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, right now I can.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I am a little nervous. Good night, everyone. My name is Valeria Giraldo Garcia. I am 23 years old and I study law at Manizales University. And today I would like to tell you about Manizales Prison because I am doing my practice work in this place. That it has been an amazing experience for me, for my life, like a professional. I will give you a little introduction about Manizales Prison. First of all, I want to tell you that this prison was built between 1949 to 1953, and nowadays has a capacity for 673 people. It's a medium security prison. So in this establishment, there aren't people sentenced to more than 20 years. Okay. The Manizales prison has five pavilions. Each one has 3 floors. But that space isn't enough because in this prison there are a lot of prison overcrowding. Now, the prison has 1,186 people, and that is 516 people more than the capacity of the establishment. If you hear this, you can imagine how the people live in this place. Of these 1,186 people, 249 are accused and 937 are convicted. That means in this establishment are 249 people without a sentence. So these people are in prison for prevention. Today we will talk about sensitive topics like how felons live, prison overcrowding, sentence reduction, what they do in their time, productive activities, how the pandemics changed the life of the felons, and others. The first topic to deal is how people live. Sorry, I forgot show you this part of the presentation. Okay. Okay, topics today. Today we are talking about these topics: how people live, prison overcrowded, current situation, sentence reduction, and productive activities, and the final reflection. So the first topic to deal, this is an image of the yards of the Manizales prison. Okay, how people live. Okay, the cells can be the size of your bathroom or an apartment kitchen, and is such a place for 2 or 4 people, and 2 or 4 people live there. When there aren't in their cells, they are in the yard. That is the name of the place where they are the most of the time. It's like a big field. The males start to be given very early. For example, from 10:30 a.m., they begin to distribute the lunches, and more or less from 5 p.m., the meal. Okay, the second point, the second topic to deal is prison overcrowded. You can see these images, these pictures of prison overcrowded. Okay. Prison overcrowded. Okay, this is something crazy. Why? Because the prison has almost 50% more people than the establishment can have. This number have I don't know, is a way to think why the prison population increase, why the prison doesn't work to resocialize people. Okay, about the current situation, that is my three topic. I can tell you this is one of the worst things for to nowadays in jail, because the COVID-19 has been a terrible situation for everybody, but for people in jail is worse. Why? Because they have been for more than 6 months haven't seen their family, so that is too terrible and a little cruel, but is the situation because the COVID-19. They only have video calls with their families, and that is the situation for them. Okay. Give me a second, please. The fourth topic is sentence reduction and productive activities. Okay. Through the treatment office, different reintegration programs are handled for offenders, like access to elementary school, high school, university, and productive activities like artisan workshops, metalworking, farms, nursery, bakery, looms, and fabrics. And it's a way to achieve sentence reduction. I am honest when I tell you that they make incredible things like underwear and delicious bakery. But only one thing is a little sad. There isn't enough programs for everyone, because the budget is enough for everyone have the access to this program. So they must be rotate for 6 months. This is upsetting because it's a way to resocialize the felons and achieve they learn something new and useful. So if they don't study or work, they have to be doing nothing during the day, and that is a problem, because in this case is when they beginning to have fights and use and abuse drugs. And finally, my final reflection is because from my experience, I could tell you that I've seen all kinds of people in prison. I am sure when I tell you that everyone can be in jail because anybody is exempt from getting there. Why? Because you can see in this place people that have a lot of money and people that don't have money, and it's the same experience for everybody. So we must be more humans, we must be solidary, because we don't know when we or somebody or that we love will arrive there. When you see, for example, when you see all people in jail who their family abandoned completely and lie and die there alone with terrible disease like AIDS or like cancer, that is something upsetting and makes me think uh, for the people that is in jail. Um, for example, when you see many members of the same family in jail, you can think too what happened. Maybe it's lack of opportunity, what happened in our society. And to finish, I would like to share you my last thought. And although sounds difficult, but maybe you don't believe that all people who commit crimes are bad people. Many times, or from my experience, many times I've spoken and dealt with excellent people in jail. And when I see their crime is something socially reproached. And that is when many times it can be shown that maybe the person goes to jail, but not the crime. And that shows us that no one is exempt from making mistakes, due to anger, ignorance, or deception. Thank you so much. If somebody have questions.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. It's a hard situation for sure. It's a very hard situation, and I think that it's important when we get to talk a little bit about this type of issues. Yeah. So I really appreciate all the information, and for sure, like there's something going on there, and sometimes we either don't realize or we simply don't want to see it. Yeah. So quite sad for sure. Well, talking like going into the same line, because for sure that's something that concerns about also human rights. We're going to be talking about human rights. So Carolina, yes, so Carolina is going to be the next person, our next presenter. And well, she's going to be expanding a little bit more our topic, or this topic, well, not specifically about the inmates in prison, but specifically about human rights. So welcome, and the floor is yours, Carolina.
Thank you, teacher. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sure.
Okay. 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 Good evening. My name is Carolina Giraldo Orozco. And today I'm going to talk about human rights. I choose this topic because I am a lawyer, because I like it, and because I am a passionate person who fight for defend human rights and for justice. Today I'm going to talk about some main ideas because sometimes we talk about human rights, but we really don't know what are human rights. So in order to understand this topic, I'm going to talk about what are human rights, then how the government and how international law influence our domestic laws, and how they protect our human rights. Okay. Okay. We have our first question, that is, what are human rights? Human rights, born, it's important to know where when they born, and they born on 1949 after the Second World War, and they born with a document that is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This document established some obligations, rights, or yes, obligations or rights that all the people have since they born. Some of them are freedom, rule of law, universality, justice, equality, government, non-discrimination, the life, and there are many rights that this declaration have or establish. But today I'm going to talk about just some of them. First, the interdependence is a right or an obligation that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights establish, and interdependence is common in international relationships because it's a concept what demonstrate what the states are completely tied in various aspects of their domestic laws. So the states have to stay with the concept of the domestic laws, but sometimes with the international relationships or with international laws, they have to apply these laws in the government, the national government. Then we have equality. Equality means the same status, the same rights, the same responsibilities for all in the society. Is our right. Then we have non-discrimination. Non-discrimination is a right that is very related with the dignity, and this right seeks the guarantee to protect human rights and to don't discriminate a person for based on his sex, on his gender, on his status, or his political opinion, because all are we are the same person. We have to pretend the same treatment, and that means non-discrimination. Freedom, or obviously we know what is freedom, but in this context we speak about the power of the right or the speak or the think as one wants, without discrimination. And justice also mean it's a concept it's a concept that you want to that you build with ethical principles, with rationality, with laws, and with documents that provides you the rights, the quality, all the obligations that you have to know for be fairness. Government is the center of our country, and they have to provide our or to protect our human rights. And universality is also the same. Universality is the rights that all of us have to since we were born. Okay, after the Universal Declaration of Human Rights came some specific laws like conventions, declarations, and resolutions. They establish some specific topics or to measure some specific rights. For example, the Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman, and Degrading Treatment or Punishment. The short name is CAT and is adopted on November 10th of 1984. So those conventions or declarations or resolutions are international laws. But if if we want that the international law applies in our domestic laws, the government have to ratify them, ratify those obligations, those conventions, and in order to protect those our rights and our country. The government, as I said before, have some obligations. The first is the declarations, conventions, or resolutions that they ratified internationally. The government have to apply in our domestic laws, and the government have to make sure that the domestic laws measure are or they have to be compatible with the international obligations. And for that is important to modify our domestic laws or design new laws. The final or the main obligation that the government have is supporting social programs and supporting the non-governmental governmental organizations, because we have we know or we see some people that is very vulnerable and they have to be or they need our help, and this help the government the government obliged to support these social problems and educational programs. Nowadays, non-governmental organizations are very important in our society because they are focused on people who needs help, and they also create programs, social programs, and fighting for justice. These organizations receive donations in order to keep them alive. And yes, and finally, a document that I found, the human rights, and is from United Nations Office of the High Commissioner, that says human rights are rights that every human being has by virtue of his or her humanity dignity. So as a conclusion, or maybe an invitation, is to fight for your rights and for our rights, because they define what we are, and we have to, and they provide the guarantee to be respectful with others and with ours. And that's it. That's my presentation, and thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing this presentation. It's always very important to talk about human rights. And well, it's something that concerns all of us. So for sure, this was a very informative presentation, and that definitely leaves a very good sense to our thought. Yeah, like we really need to think about the rights that we have, and of course the responsibilities that we also need to have after having those rights, or as we have those rights. Thank you so much, Caro. Thank you for your presentation. And well, we're going to continue talking about very important topics. I think that this is one of the most important topics that we have nowadays. I recently read something, I think it was in New York, that they decided to start, like looking for options in order to make water a little bit pricier than usual, more expensive. And so, well, water is actually the topic that we're going to be listening about from Erickson. So Erickson, thank you so much for being here. And well, let's go with your presentation. You have the floor.
Yeah, teacher. Can you see my presentation?
Not yet.
No?
Wait a minute. Yep, now I can.
Yeah, okay. Hi guys, hi everyone. I talk about the water. Why I choose this topic? I choose this topic because it's very important to announce the problem that exists in the world about this resource and the importance in our life. And it's also important that the people to know how can help to reduce this problem by carrying out some activities that we will help us save water, yeah? And water is the most important element in life for humans, animals, and plants. Furthermore, water is life because we need all it, not just for drinking, for realize different activities. Our rivers, lakes, groundwater, seas have a valuable resource that must be protected. Water contribute to the stability of the functioning in the environment. Therefore, is essential element for life of the plants and animals on the planet. And in other words, water is basic necessity, essential life beings. It is a natural element for in a system environment system, yeah. This is a curious day because 70% of the air is water and 70% of our body is also water, yeah. Also 97% of the water is in the ocean and 2% remain frozen, yeah. Only 2.5% of the water that exists in the world is fresh water. That amount, 0.5% is found underground deposits, and 0.01% is in rivers and lakes, yeah. And 90% the planet's valuable freshwater resource is in Antarctica. Only 0.007% of the water that exists is drinkable. This is reduced year after year due to the pollution, yeah? And now, no way, there are many problems related to the water, right from not having to access drinking water, and to having this resource, but without adequate sanitation, yeah? Water is a resource that occurs in some place, but this is the problem. The problem is that the 200 million people don't have access to drinking water or lack access to drinking water, yeah? And 2,400 million people who don't have suitable sanitation, yeah? And now in undeveloped countries, most children die every year due to disasters associated with the lack of clean water or adequate sanitation, yeah? In some countries, the problem isn't lack of drinking water, the problem is the mismanaging or distribution of the water resource. For example, in Africa or Asia, the woman will to collect 6 kilometers, to collect water 6 kilometers, and in some case they go with your daughters, and so they can go to the school, yeah. For example, in some countries, pay 5 or 10 times more than the other countries for other cities like London or New York, yeah. I want to share a short video about the Ethiopia water crisis in this moment. Can you hear? Yeah.
Can you please play it? No, I cannot listen to it. No.
Okay, but I see the, yeah. Yeah, this was a video that the Ethiopia water crisis in this moment. This is really hard when they collect water, but this water don't have in good condition to drinking. Okay. In continue, I want to share with you water saving tips. This is really necessary. The first is when you brush your teeth, close the tap or use a glass. If you do that, you will save 20 liters, yeah. In the shower, close the tap while you lather. If you don't do that, you waste 12 liters every minute. Yeah. This is important. Check the taps in the house. Reuse water is really important in this moment. Water the plants at the night or down. When you want to wash the car, use a book. Yeah. It is really important. Don't play with the water. Don't play with the water. In conclusion, water is the most important element for our lives. Take care it. Don't waste. It's important that we need to save water. We need to save water for the future. It's really important for our lives, this resource. Try to care this resource, because in other countries, on other places, have this resource, but don't have in good condition this resource. It's really important to care the water. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For sure, that's food for thought. Yes, we all need to be very mindful of the amount of water that we use every single day in our houses. Sure thing. Thank you very much for your recommendations, Erickson, and thank you for your presentation as well. Well, now it's time to continue, guys. It's time to continue with the presentations. We're about to finish. We're only missing two, I think, yeah, two more people by now. So our next presenter is more than ready. She's very excited to go and show you this very interesting presentation that she has to offer to all of you and to all of us as well tonight. So Nicole, thank you very much for being here, and let's go with your presentation.
Okay, give me 1 second. Wait. Okay, good night. My name is Nicole, and I'm going to talk about dancing. But why dancing? Why it's important for me, or why it's important for me to dance as a healthy height. But before I telling you what is dancing, can you answer me what's dance? Maybe teacher or someone.
Someone in the group, what is dancing? Is that the question?
Yes.
What is dancing? Anybody?
I think dancing is a way for maybe know better each other and have fun too. And it's even a way for transmit the culture in a society too. Yeah, maybe for us nowadays is not so it's not so in that way, but for our ancestors, dancing was a very important way for sharing know each other, and it was or it is still a very important tradition.
Okay.
And it's fun for sure.
Okay, thank you, Mauro, for sharing. And now I share with you what is dance. What is it? It's an action where one person or many people perform movements to the beat of the music. Easy, right? So, but how many dance styles are there? Do you know, or could you tell me which one you know, or their person, or the teacher, maybe?
I don't know. I think I know the basics. Dance styles.
Yes.
The some I don't know the culture dance styles, or hip hop, folklore.
Okay.
Another.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. There are many dance styles. We know, for example, ballet, contemporary. It's like a ballet, but not at all. Hip hop, jazz, tap, and ballroom, that they are salsa, tango, paso doble. And there are many dance styles that if I continue, I couldn't finish my presentation, right? Now, I share with you why dancing is important for me. Many people ask me all the time, Nicole, why do you dance? And I always answer, why not? If dancing is life, it's health, it's fun, and is passion. For example, in my case, I dance in the shower. Some people sing in the shower, but in my case, I dance in the shower when I do my homeworks or when I do my chores. The benefits and opportunities it gives me are priceless, because when I dance, I feel alive and free. Dancing improve your health, your tones, your muscles, your mood, your posture, promoting a physical fitness. When you dance, you can connect emotionally with the audience or with your partner or other people, and the most important, with yourself. For me, it's the best feeling I have ever experienced. Something that is important is that your life change, because you create a discipline and you take that for all the areas on your life. Then I want to share with you a part of a video of why it is important to dance for other people.
Dance makes me feel there's nothing really like it.
I just feel really great when I'm dancing. It lets me be free.
It lifts my spirits, make me feel happy.
It makes me feel very blessed. I'm grateful that I can move my body, and it makes me feel connected to source.
It makes me feel joyous. Makes me feel like I have real joy in my life.
It takes me to another world, a world that has no troubles, no worries, and it makes me happy. And I think I would love to be happy most of the time, so I dance most times.
Dancing make me feel so alive. My spirit just feel overwhelmed with joy, you know? I do dance, that's it, I live for dance, I'm a dancer. Really what it comes down to is I feel like a kid again.
Dancing, I just get a sense of it being a natural part of life.
Absolument, c'est naturel. Moi, je crois que si tu l'essayes seulement une fois, tu vas l'aimer. Tu vas continuer à danser toujours.
You hear music and it's instinctual. You start tapping your foot, you start moving the shoulders, your head starts going. It's our response to music, I think.
It's really hard to answer why I'm dancing. Why do you breathe?
Because
I think I was really drawn to the idea of like discipline and being determined to get a move.
Et la danse me permet de voir cette proximité avec mes amis.
You're born in Canada and you're disconnected from your African ancestry. It's a way to find out what the oral traditions are and the movements and language that's associated with it.
Dance for us is a healing. The space that we work on, the space that we dance in, when we step on it, we get healed.
For the longest time, I wasn't very confident with my body, but over time, I gained a lot of confidence through dance.
I can express myself to the fullest without fear of anybody judging me.
Within the dance and within the music, you can express any emotions. It's a really liberating experience. It's almost like you're speaking without words.
Sans la danse dans ma vie, je suis sûr et certain que je n'aurais pas été la même personne.
It's such a great way to just kind of share my joy with other people.
I love the connection. Is what you have with your partner when you dance.
It's so renewing to be able to touch another man and just touch them.
So often people say, but I can't dance. So they live with a lifelong idea about themselves that they can't dance.
You know, it was a bit awkward for me in the beginning. I didn't know anyone. I had never danced before. I didn't know what to expect.
What about if she doesn't like how I dance?
Don't be afraid. If you make a mistake, who cares? It's for fun. You're enjoying yourself. You're having a good time.
And then little by little, I realized that I am not that bad anymore. Because right now, I'm going to tell you a secret. I've been asked to dance by so many ladies to ask me to dance. It's all right.
I've become so confident just from dancing. It just sucked me in, and I kept going back for more and more and more, and I never looked back.
So no matter who you are, you can join the community and feel welcome.
Okay, with this, I invite you to dance with your parents, with your family, with your siblings, with your partner, or whoever you want, or alone, because you don't need to be a professional dancer to do it. And this is the best sport in the world for me. And thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole. Dancing, I like dancing. That doesn't really mean that I'm good at it, but I like dancing for sure. But yeah, definitely, I mean, very interesting. I think almost everybody, I think we know the basics, at least to dance merengue. Like, please, if you don't know how to dance merengue, please get out of my class. Just kidding. But yeah, for sure. Thank you. It's a very interesting topic. And why not? I think that's the question. Why not? Yes, why not trying and why not dancing? Pretty interesting, for sure. Thank you very much. Well, I always tell this student that is coming up next that she's the last, but she's not the least, because she's the last for everything, unfortunately, in the list and in the presentations as well. But that doesn't really mean that she's, well, I mean, it's not on purpose, for sure. So forgive me once again. But now is your turn, and your topic is amazing, and I think that we're going to be learning a lot about coffee. So my expectations are like in here. So go for it. I really want to learn about coffee and the coffee region. Sophie, thank you so much.
Thanks, teacher. Finally.
To
share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. Oh yeah. Oh, I need a coffee. I need a cup of coffee right now.
Yeah. So, good night. My name is Sofia. My presentation is Colombian coffee from crop to cup. In order to appreciate a cup of Colombian coffee, it's important to know all the work and effort of the many people who ensure the quality of final products for the consumer worldwide. So why does Colombian coffee taste so good? Coffee grown best in volcanic soils at altitudes of 1,200 to 1,800 meters in places that are free of frost but receive around 80 inches of rain per year. And Colombia have all these boxes. Some important days. Legend has it that the increase of coffee production happens to the Jesus Priest Francisco Romero in the department of Santander. When his parishioner confessed, the priest imposed on them in coffee as a penance in order to redeem their sins. Thanks to this, the production began to expand to other departments as Cundinamarca, Caldas, and Antioquia. By the end of the 19th century, production had increased from 60,000 bags to more than 600,000. The coffee in Colombia. $70 for 8.
Okay. I think that she's having some technical issues with the internet right now. So, Sophie, I think why don't you try maybe turning your camera off? So maybe that helps you a little bit more with the internet connection.
Oh, sorry.
No. Like, you don't need to be sorry. Like,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, sure.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I think you can go back from the previous slide and then just
start again for this one.
Yeah, because over there the problem started, unfortunately. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. So legend has that the increase of Colombian production coffee begins with the Jesus Priest Francisco Romero, who in Santander, when his parishioners were confessed, the priest imposed of them sowing coffee in order to redeem their sins. Can you hear me?
Yes, right now.
Yeah,
yes.
I see your face. Worry.
Don't worry. Okay. Go for it.
So thanks to this, the coffee production started to expand to the departments as Caldas, Cundinamarca, and Antioquia. At the end of the 19th century, production had increased for 60,000 bags for more than 600,000 bags. And coffee was already the main foreign export exchange product in Colombia. This time was called the Bonanza Cafetera. In 1970, the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation was created, which was responsible for aiding and representing all the coffee farmers in Colombia. In 1938, the Center for Science Research on Coffee CENICAFE is created. It was responsible for achievements as the Castillo variety, resistant to disease such as rust, and the process for researchers on the different varieties and forms of cultivation. This center is now probably one of the most advanced in this kind of the world. In 1950, 3 important things happened. The character of Juan Valdez was born. The office of Café Colombia was opened in Tokyo, making today Japan the second consumer of Colombian coffee in the world. And the third one is thanks to the researchers from CENICAFE, the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation decided to create the Extension Service, which are agronomical engineers who visit each farm and give them advices in order to ensure the quality and support their families and the coffee growing. That's another secret to our success, or beans. In the world, the most important species of coffee shrub are the Arabica and the Robusta. Arabica has best flavor and quality, and Robusta contains more caffeine and has a bigger yield. Colombian coffee is 100% Arabica. Even here, it's illegal to cultivate Robustas in the country. So the process starts
with the planting. Seeds are germinated in a bag until the plant grow up. Later, I'll move to seedlings to expose them to the sun. These plants are called the chapolas. And after that, the coffee is planted to the ground finally. After 3 or 4 years, the cherries are collected by produce a Colombian coffee. A Colombia toasted coffee is necessary to select more or less 1,900 cherries for a pound of coffee or Colombian roasted coffee. So this process made the difference between Colombian coffee and the other countries' producers. Cherries are stripped through a machine and the almonds are preserved. The almond is washed to remove the mucilage for almost 18 hours. After that, the coffee dries for remove moisture, normally by the sun for 5 or 8 days, depends on the weather. Washing and drying coffee is undoubtedly one of the most arduous and personalized work in all the entire coffee production chain. So after all this begins process, finally we obtain the so-called parchment coffee. At this point, a large of the producers take their coffee to sell it in the domestic markets in marketing in Colombia. Once the parchment coffee has been removed by the holding machines, we obtain the green coffee. The grain is carefully selected by size, color, at this point, the majority of the coffee in Colombia can only be exported if they meet all the minimum quality parameters, which are reviewed in all the ports by Alma Café, another company from the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation. Through the 100% Colombian program, roasters for all the continents buy or green coffee and tasted under the brand 100% Colombian coffee. Roast is a crucial process for develop the taste and the smell for the coffee. So for this reason, some special coffee shops do it by themselves. In this picture, we can observe the cherries after the parchment coffee, the green coffee, and finally the roast coffee. Once you obtain the roasted coffee, it's necessary grind it. In order to prepare a cup of depends what brewing coffee you want, depends on the size of the greens. Yes. Which you have this could be a different exposed or high, some different flavors characteristic for the coffee. So brewing coffee, the amount of time that the water is in contact with the coffee grounds another important flavor factor. For example, if you use a drip system, the content should be almost 5 minutes. If you are doing your cup of coffee in a French press, almost 2 or 4 minutes. Colombia coffee grounds seeking to generate more knowledge about the effort and the origin, and develop some campaigns of Colombia Toma Café and the Juan Valdez coffee shops in order to promote their products and give a kind of message that the consumer associated with the effort, respect, and dedication for drinking. And with this, the consumer have started to learn more about coffee and how to taste it. So the advertising of Café Colombia has been memorable for all the countries, almost for a half a century. So Juan Valdez and his story express the notion that only an extraordinary effort produces an extraordinary coffee. So he represents the philosophy and commitment for all the coffee producer families in Colombia And to this day, Juan Valdez had mentioned in media around the world, even in Hollywood movies, and be a famous person. So I just want to use this time for showing all the effort behind a cup of coffee and all the families who need our support and appreciation. And my advice for today is please drink more Colombian coffee. And that's it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much for this presentation. Definitely. Thank you to all the farms and all the coffee growners. For sure, they do have a very arduous, very industrious job. So
organize.
It's something that yeah. So we definitely need to highlight that for sure. Thank you, Sophie, for that. And like this is something important, and it's part of our heritage. It's part of our region as well. With this presentation, we made it to the end of Upper D, of our presentations in Upper D. So I really want to thank all the people that stayed tuned until the end of the presentations. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your support. And well, we really hope that you learned something or that you liked our presentations. Guys, you have something to say?
Thank you very much, teacher.
Thanks
Thank
to
you very
all.
much.
Thank you.
Good job for everyone.
That's great.